it's like everything goes quiet, right? Like you kind of hear all the noises in the gym, all the ambient noises, the music, and then it's just like gone. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 6 of my Road to Bench World series. So this week was another good training week. I wouldn't say it was anything super spectacular, nothing to write home about, but it was good work. It was successful in its own ways. So I did only one classic bench training day this week. Full disclosure, I had to break it up into 2 parts. I just am so used to having only shorter training sessions. Get all my training done within like 60 to 90 minutes is sort of the way I prefer to train. You know, whether it's 2 a days, that's totally fine, but like, I don't know, maybe I just have a hard time keeping my energy up, you know, up to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. You know, I used to train that way, but then when I sort of cut down my training, you know, these shorter spurts I find work better for me. But anyway, so in my morning session, I worked up to a top single at 195 pounds, and then I did 4 singles at 185, just as my back down sets. And those all moved okay. I called it at 195 just because, I don't know, things were not flying like they should be, and you know, 195 was pretty slow too. You know, that happens. Those kind of training days happen for whatever reason. Like I slept fine the night before. It is what it is. You know, I was still happy with the work I put in. And then when I came back for part 2 of my workout, I did sets of 4 pause bench and I worked up to 175, and those moved fine. So yeah, that training day was maybe not like my strongest ever, but I got the work in, got all my sets and reps and exercises in, and you know, most importantly, didn't re-aggravate my shoulder, which tends to happen when I push past sort of my capabilities for that day. So I was happy enough with that day. Like I said, nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about, but you know, got it in regardless. So I was happy with that, and I got it all in one day, even though it was 2 training sessions in one day, but details. So I got the rest of the week to rest my shoulder, do my accessories, and I think that was a good thing. So on Saturday, I was back in my black shirt, in my sort of looser fitting shirt. Warm-ups felt okay. I worked up to a top single at 90 that day. And the reason I stopped at 90 that day and didn't go up was not because I didn't feel strong that day. Like I think my rep at 90 moved pretty well, but you know, that really shouldn't be a max out day, even though I always want to. But, you know, I asked Jason if we should go up to like 92.5 or 91 or what we should do. And he was just like, well, this is just a warm up for equipped. So cut it out. Let's get in the shirt. And that's the focus of Saturday's workout. So anyway, we got into the shirt and Jason actually snuck a couple of little change plates onto the inside of the reds, and he thought I wouldn't notice, but I noticed. So that just added 2.5 kilos to all my lifts. His reasoning for trying to hide those from me was just so that I wouldn't get in my head. So if I thought I was lifting less, maybe I would lift better. I wouldn't sort of psych myself out about the weight. But really, you know, 2.5 kilos, I felt should have been there anyway. So I don't think that got into my head. And actually, as I was writing the weights in my training log, I had to correct myself a couple times because I forgot that those extra 2.5 were on there. So that was okay. I warmed up as usual. I did, you know, single to a 2 board, triple to a 2 board, double to a 1 board, single to a half board, and then 3 touches. So my touches this week started at 122.5 kilos. And then we jumped to 127.5 kilos, and then we moved to 132.5 kilos. So 2.5 higher than all of my reps last week. They all felt good, even though they didn't move maybe as quickly as I would have hoped. So something I really like about the black shirt, and it's a reason that I'm very glad I have it, is that the chest plate is a little bit bigger than it is in my blue shirt. The touch is a little bit easier. It's easier on my shoulder, and it is more comfortable. On Saturday, what I felt I feel like it was the first time in quite a long time, is during the descent, like while I'm lowering the bar to my chest, I was really able to kind of get into my own head. And this is a good thing. Like, I mean this in a good way. So what I mean by that is I wasn't worried and I wasn't sort of panicking as I have in the past about, one, about hurting my shoulder, and two, about the touch itself. Like I feel like lately, in recent months at least, it's felt like either I am super concerned about my shoulder, and as I'm descending, I'm like, please don't hurt, please don't hurt, please don't hurt. So that, thankfully, is not so much an issue, and I can touch on that a little bit later too. But also I've been so worried about the touch because it is so hard to touch in a shirt in general that I haven't really fully been mentally present. And that is actually something that I really love about equipped benching. Like I love when I'm lowering the bar and just sort of focused and dialed in. You know, I'm talking myself through it. And then there's like a certain point, and it's hard to describe if you've never been in a shirt, or maybe this might just be me, but anyway, my experience is that I reach a certain point, like in the descent, where it almost sounds like things are like underwater, and it's probably just like the pressure in my head, but it's like everything goes quiet, right? Like you kind of hear all the noises in the gym, all the ambient noises, the music, and then it's just like gone, and then it's just like quiet, and it's me, and I'm talking myself through it. And like I can hear the head ref in a competition. I haven't like lost my sense of hearing completely, but I love that feeling. Like it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. For me, I feel like equipped bench is so mental that it's, you know, a mental challenge, and that's something I really appreciate about the sport. But anyway, on Saturday with that black shirt, I just felt like I was able to get there. Like I felt that, you know, I got to that point where the world was just quiet, and I was really conscious of my own voice. And as I was talking myself through it and like coaching myself, like patience, like tight, like just cueing myself through the lift, and that felt so good. Like it felt really good. And you know, the presses weren't that great. They weren't flying. You know, 132.5 was kind of iffy, but it felt fine. Like I knew I had it the whole time. I didn't feel like I was fighting for it. I was just working through it. So I think that was a really good equipped bench day for me. Everything just felt great. So I think that's a really good sign. I actually ordered a new bench shirt way back in February before Nationals, and I just got an email that it was shipped. So this Saturday will be interesting. We might give that a try. If not, if we kind of put it on and it's like way too tight, like there's no way we're gonna break it in before Worlds, then whatever, it is what it is. Then we work on it after Worlds. But at least I will be in my blue shirt, and that shirt is much tighter. It gives me much more of a pop than my black shirt that I've been training the last couple weeks. So yeah, next Saturday will be interesting. I think we're on a good path right now, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how things are moving. And since I'd mentioned it before, a little shoulder update. It is continuing to feel better day by day. Little things, I'm noticing little things that used to hurt me that don't hurt anymore. Like at the very beginning, you know, putting a shirt on or taking a shirt off specifically, that was always painful, and I had to figure out weird ways to get out of my clothing, and like sports bras especially, like, oh, those were like awful. Those are awful to put on and take off with a shoulder injury, or at least with my shoulder injury. Those felt terrible. And then I was able to do self lift-offs again without pain. So that's a huge improvement, and also very helpful because Jason's not always with me when I do my raw bench days. So it's really helpful to be able to do that without worrying about hurting myself. So that's great. And then this latest development that I just realized the other day is that I can towel off my legs without that hurting. Because for whatever reason, it sounds silly, but for whatever reason, like toweling off my legs was like, that would always hurt, and I can do it without pain now. So so we're making progress there, so that I'm doing something right. Something is going right, you know, whether it's just time, whether it's, you know, extra rest, who knows, but whatever it is, it's a good thing. And you know, I still have a few weeks to train going into Worlds, so I'm just happy that I can train now and not have to worry about my shoulder, you know, with everything that I'm doing, you know, in the gym, in lifting, and obviously in real life too. So, you know, fingers crossed that it keeps improving in that way. We'll see where the next few weeks take us now that I'm not worried about pain anymore all the time. So anyway, that is my update for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.